Hey everyone, it's Alex, and I know that this is a totally different style of video. It's not the usual gameplay highlight or deck build or hype style video, but I think this is really important because this is one that's been kind of weighing on my conscience and a video I've been wanting to make for some time. I tend to do this in one take, speak from the heart, because I think that ultimately we all love Marvel Snap. If you're watching this video, you love Marvel Snap. But there's been a lot of negativity circulating in the community that, I mean, is justified. Let's not kind of like put on our rose-colored shades and pretend like there aren't issues with the game. There most certainly are. But I think that every once in a while we need to take a step back and take a look at what makes this game so beautiful. What makes this game so incredible, and the reason why we're here in the first place. Because I've seen a lot of negative articles. I'm going to talk about a couple right now. The state of Marvel Snap from PC Gamer. Super quick battles, super slow progression. Okay, fair. Game Rant said that Marvel Snap players are disappointed with collector's reserves. I mean, yeah, that's nothing new. And then Forbes has been on an absolute massacre with Marvel Snap lately. Marvel Snap keeps introducing new cards that pretty much no one can get. Okay, valid. And then the follow-up to that was that Marvel Snap's monetization has become just hilariously stupid. Now, I bring these up because it's so easy to get negative about a game. It's so easy to get negative about a game you love, a game that you engage with every single day, like many of us do. Some of us engage with it every day for hours sometimes, and it can be very hard to kind of see from a 100-foot perspective what might actually be happening because we're so deep in it. And articles like these, I don't think really help to resolve the problems because many of these issues have been spoken about on the developer Discord. They've been spoken about how they know that they want to make improvements to these systems. However, it's also important to realize that it's so easy to focus on the negative things. So I want to take a second here to talk about some of the things that I love about the game, that I think make this game as amazing as it is, and why I believe the future of it is brighter than ever. So first of all, let's be honest. Second Dinner made an absolutely fantastic game. You have incredible gameplay. You have incredible art. You have no waiting between turns, which, I mean, drove me nuts in Hearthstone. I couldn't stand getting roped over and over and over again. And you know it happened. It happens in every single card game, but not really in Marvel Snap. They're making the most of a beloved IP. They have lore connections all throughout that are absolutely fantastic. I love the idea that Squirrel Girl and Doctor Doom, have very similar effects. And that Squirrel Girl actually beat Doctor Doom in the lore. Spoiler alert, but it's actually pretty cool how they have so many small tidbits in the game. They've really done a remarkable job of taking a beloved IP and incorporating it into a card game. A card game that we all engage with and absolutely love. They've also made a game that has incredibly rewarding deck building. A game that allows you to be extremely creative with your deck choices. It's a small deck, 12 cards, no repetitious cards. And it allows you to kind of really experiment in a positive way. The deck building is what I love the most about this game as well. And then you have the collection system. Now I want to talk about this for a second because I know that this is going to be one of the topics that really, it's one of the more controversial points. And I want to just say that the collection system has merit. And while we're engaging with it in a way that I think can be occasionally unhealthy with our absolute fervor for wanting new cards all the time. I mean, that's just normal. I think everyone wants that new best thing. And maybe this is the content creator's fault. Maybe this is guys like my fault because we release videos where I just got Darkhawk and naturally I want to make videos about Darkhawk and Darkhawk's kind of hard to come by. And so people that watch the videos are like, man, this deck looks cool and I can't play it. And it kind of seeds frustration. Because some of these decks that have very, complex card combinations with pool 3, 4, and 5, they win games. And yeah, not everyone can access them. But I think it's also important to take a step back and say, okay, hold on though. What is the merit of the collection system? What was the overall goal? What does Marvel Snap do that other games just don't? And perhaps it's our fault a little bit for engaging with it in an unhealthy way. Because what happened was the collection system as a whole was designed so that you're never guaranteed to have every single card in the game. You can't just throw your wallet at Marvel Snap and acquire every single card in the game. You can do that in Hearthstone, right? Very easy. You just keep ripping packs open until your wallet hits 0 and you've got every card in the game. And then you use all the dust from all the duplicates and craft whatever you want. Okay, cool. So you threw your wallet at Hearthstone and got the cards. Neat. You can't really do that in Marvel Snap. They actually even restrict the amount of money you can spend every single day through credits and stuff like that. You can't even really reliably buy boosters either. I mean, you got the fast upgrade section, which sucks, but there's no way to actually like really force progression faster. And so what does that mean for the collection-based system? Well, it means that every single player that you're playing, and even yourself, do not have the ideal collections. In early Pool 1 and 2, the game was at its finest because this okay, I'm playing a zoo deck. Has he unlocked Killmonger yet? I don't know. It added some spice to it. When you're playing a Pool 3 list and a guy drops Wong, you don't have to guarantee that he has Doctor Doom. Does he have Doctor Doom? Is he going to play White Tiger on this Wong? What's he going to do? Because does he have the ideal list? Probably not, because I don't have the ideal list. It creates a situation that encourages deck building. And I want to kind of reiterate that I think it's so important that we engage in this game with a healthy kind of mindset of, yeah, I'm not going to have every single card. But what can I do to maximize the cards that I do have? Don't approach it as well, I have a deck list I want to play, and I don't have the absolute perfect cards that the perfect top-end players are playing. But you know what you can do? You can take that shell and you can modify it with your own collection to make it meet your needs. And as I talked about on the Snapchat, you start to gain agency over your collection. You start to gain agency over your wins, your losses, your deck building. And I think that if you start to do that, you might find that you find it much more rewarding than just winning and losing. Because now you're experimenting, you're learning, you're having fun. And ultimately, that is the most important thing in the world. And that is what I really engage with this game with. I love the deck building. I love experimenting. The winning and losing, honestly, is so secondary to me. For me, it's seeing a card combination work so I can share it with the world. That's what motivates me. And one thing I really want to talk about too, and it's kind of the main purpose of this video, honestly, is to not lose sight of something so key. And that is that we have a development team from Second Dinner who actually communicates with us. Every single one of you can probably take a moment to self-reflect and realize that you've played a game that had a development team that wouldn't communicate, didn't say anything, just sat in silence all the time. You never knew if a patch was coming. You never knew if they were reading Reddit. You never knew if they were kind of engaging with the community or reading feedback at all. You had no idea. Okay? I mean, you guys, there's countless games like this. I've talked about this in the past, right? Dota is a classic example of this. The development team doesn't say anything to anybody. You literally never know what's happening, right? Team Fortress 2, months and years without updates, right? And so we need to take a second here to appreciate how much our development team actually communicates with us. And I was laying in bed last night, and this is kind of the reason why I'm doing this video today. And I was laying in bed and I was thinking to myself, I wonder why other development teams don't communicate as often as they do. And then I start to kind of self-reflect and say, wait a minute. Second Dinner communicates a lot with us. We have Discords, we can ask them questions. I know they read Reddit posts. And all they see is all this continuous negativity. They tweet, and the first 5 responses are people in caps lock angry at them because of a collection-based system or because the bundle's too expensive. And I mean, at the end of the day, these are human beings. And I wonder if other developers who have come before just said, you know what? It's not worth it. We communicate and all we do is we just hear this constant negativity. We feel the anger, and having that anger directed towards you can be extremely challenging. And maybe that's why people just shut off and say, you know what? We'll just do our thing. We'll let them kind of pitchfork and torch everything in the background, and we'll just continue doing our thing. We don't need to communicate. And I think that's really sad because I don't want Marvel Snap to be like that. I don't want Second Dinner to feel like they can't communicate with us. I don't want them to feel like every time they poke their head out from the windows and say, hey guys, what do you guys think of this? And everyone just attacks them every time, which is kind of what's been happening. So I think we need to appreciate how much this development team communicates with us. I think we need to recognize that they are truly listening to everything that we're saying. And that at the end of the day, the way Marvel Snap stands right now as recording this video, it's not going to be what it looks like a year from now, 2 years from now. I think that we often forget that Hearthstone's been out for a decade. Runeterra's been out for years. Magic has been out for, I don't even know how long it's been. Maybe before I was born. I don't even remember, really. Magic's been out for ages, decades. These games have had so much time to reiterate and kind of get better. And Marvel Snap hasn't had that yet. We're still in its first year. This game is in its infancy. So let's not burn the bridges with our development team. One that's listening constantly. One that's really supporting us. That's all I ask. That's really the point of this video. We have an amazing game on our hands, and all we've got to do is just support them. With that being said, what I would like for you to do It's in the comments section down below. I want you to comment something you love about this game. Take a moment to write something that you truly love about this game, the thing that brought you here, the thing that keeps you playing. I want you to spread some love in the comment section. And I want you to, like me, start up the game as soon as this video is done, have a match, and put a smile on your face, because we know what? We're playing the best game in the world right now. They won game of the year, and I think that 2023 is going to be just as good. Thanks for listening, guys, and keep being positive.